Um, Good morning. Thank you. Hope his microphone is turned off. Um, Good morning. Thank you for joining me again. What day is today? Tuesday. We're going to do a nice flowy sequence that was inspired by a person I met at the gym when I was pumping some serious iron, maybe like 10 kilos. But he's a guy that really lovely, helped me out with working with one of the machines. His name is Born Barikor. I think I might be saying his name a bit wrong, the surname, but he's called Born. And he posts a lot on Instagram, and he's got a lovely, graceful quality about him. But he's a personal trainer, I believe. He's probably a lot more than that. And he does a sequence that I really gravitated towards because of its grace and the movement, and I've converted that into yoga postures. So this is kind of a shout out to him, and also where you can find yoga in all the different parts of your life. It might be just right in front of you while you're pouring yourself a cup of tea, and it might be while you're queuing up somewhere. You see a bee fly by, and that moment is something that you have that pause and you sort of embrace yourself within it. And embody your own self. So this is what yoga is all about. And so this is gonna be fun and a nice warm up. We're gonna also tack on another bit at the end. Okay, so we'll get started right away. We're gonna come with our mat wide. Okay, we're gonna start working into the same concept of grounding, right? So feeling your feet. So you're just drifting from one side to the other. Okay, so the point here is to feel your own body. So you start with mimicking what the facilitator is doing, and then you go into your own experience, right? You feel what that's like, and you settle somewhere where that feels interesting, and then maybe drift to the other side and see the difference. Okay, so let's feel into all the various parts of your feet. You feel the grounding element. There's a rotation, and your body's set up that way. Certain bone structures rotating, the tibia on the bottom of your leg rotating. So embrace this feeling of movement. Notice how the ripple of that movement affects the rest of your body, hips, and you feel that interconnectedness of the whole body. Okay, so we're all, that foot is part of the whole body. Okay, so we're gonna drift and go wide. And then we're gonna drift into the fronts of the feet and lift the heels up. And then we're going to find the center of balance in your body. So you draw this line in your midline, right? That's where your belly button is. And then you find that space and kind of melt into it from your feet. And then there's a little drift forward and back, and a little pelvis tilt forward and back. So let's settle here for a moment, and we're gonna come up off the heels. There's, for me, a little shake, and then drop the heels back down. You don't fear the shake. And you know that the shake is a brain's response to the body. Okay, it's muscles and body, mind connecting, brain, I should say. Okay, it's just an act of doing, something's happening there. Feel that? Settle back, good. Let's bring the legs closer together. Okay, with a little gap in between, so they're under the hips. Okay, and this is what I've kind of, I don't want to say nicked. I've taken what Born has done and made it into yoga. So we're going to come on to like a chair pose, right? Hands together. Now this is my right leg. I'm going to step out wide. And then I'm going to ground that right foot and let that left foot lift for a moment. And then it steps back. And then I'm going to bring it back up and back. And then my feet are going to come together. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the other side. So my left leg is going to rise and step. Now we can change up the arms now that our left leg comes up and back. And then the arms come up, the knee comes up, we step out. And then we'll bring the legs together. We'll take it to the right leg's up. We breathe out, we squat. Okay, we lift out, left leg up, there's a little balance. And now, look, lunge, crescent, really soft, gentle crescent. And then we lift up, out, and then we're back in chair. And if you get it wrong, who cares? You want to feel the sense of grounding and this almost graceful dance. And you might create a slightly different variation. And that's not wrong, right? So bring your legs together and then take it over to the right side. Right leg steps. Left leg kind of flies up for a moment. Get a big plane above. Left leg steps back. Rises up. And then we step together. Okay, we're going to come over to the left and let that right leg fly and ground behind you. Now it can even dip, that back knee can come to the ground. And then you come back up. See, and I know my arms aren't doing the same thing every time, but it's okay. Because I'm the teacher, I can get it wrong. Okay, just joking. Lift that left leg up and back. And then up, step, and then chair. So it's not about moving quickly. Left foot steps, fly, step back, lift, good. Can we do one more on each side? We're going to step the right leg out, send the left leg out and back, bring it back, out, and then legs together, and then take the left leg out, send the right one wide, and back, and then back into the front, wide, and then together. And let's sit here in this chair and rock. Your hands can be on your knees or in prayer. So it looks like this. Rocking back and forward. Optional with the heels lifting. You do what's comfortable, but don't settle in the easy stuff. Test yourself. See where your edge is. Can you park yourself in the heels lifting for a moment? And then maybe even go down a little deeper. Good, let's send ourselves to standing. Send yourself up. Good, you should feel nice and warm in the legs. I think the arms are beckoning for some work here, for some wake up. So we'll come into mountain pose. My feet are wide. Let's breathe in, reach up. Good, breathe it out, fold in half, and take your arms back towards the sky. Take and interlace the fingers and drop your head. Now soften your knees until your belly rests on your legs. Okay, now I'm looking between my knees. I'm gonna shake my head no, gently. And then yes. And as you're here, maybe the legs can go a little straighter without force. Okay, good. Bring the arms a little bit further back. I'm only going this far because I've got a bit of a shoulder injury. So add space where it needs it. Okay, soften your knees. You're gonna sweep your arms up. Good, and then back. Interlace opposite finger on top, so you can change that when you're here. Good, now notice the backs of the legs a little bit more open. Good, feel your neck free. And then bend your knees, release your hands, sweep up, stay in chair pose. Stay here with your hands in prayer. There it is. Okay, then we're gonna go a little deeper, and you're gonna put the weight in your heels. Okay, now this is a test, a fun one, so playful. Can you widen your stance and go into frog, so carry some weight forwards. And then you may need to bring your hands down or reach forward. This is where when I'm in the class, I say hi, let yourself come down, and then drop onto your mat, stretch. Good, stretch one leg out. Circle the hip. You're circling the hip by letting that leg circle. And then the other leg. Good, and then go back with both knees bent. Bring one, let's start with the right. Bring the right foot on top of the left knee. And then you do this sort of tick-tock. So if you've got any tightness or stuff going on in the hip, you may feel that movement. You may feel throughout the movement a bit of a sensation, and that's good. You want movement. Movement creates change. So that will help and support any sort of issues in the hips. You can see where you can take that twist, and maybe that right foot can come to the floor. And if it does, press that foot into the floor, and you can let the knee drop. Now I've got my left hand there, and maybe it wants to hold on to the right knee and pull it down. Good, drawing your breath. Let's wave up to the sky. So bring that right hand above your head and stretch it with the fingers spread, like you're trying to catch someone's attention up your ceiling or the sky. Good, and then you're gonna use that right hand to grab the right knee and pull it back to the center. Realign yourself with both knees hugging in. A little rock. And then we've got the left ankle on top of the right knee, and we're gonna do a little tick-tock with that side. Okay, so I can feel into my right foot. A rock, and then you play with that. If the mobility is there without sort of any gripping, then let the foot drop to the floor or hover. So my right foot just kind of goes a bit floppy, the opposite foot. My left foot's on the floor and it's pushing into the floor. My right foot is the one that's the bottom of the foot's facing you. And then with my right hand, I'm going to just gently nudge that left knee into a twist. Good, if you're getting a little stuck, notice your breath. It'll indicate what's happening. Breathe. Soften. And then with this left hand, this one, that's towards you guys, I'm gonna reach it up, spreading the fingers, stretch. And then bring that hand all the way to that left leg and help it to come back into the center. Hug both knees in. Good, while your knees are hugged in, gently bring your hands into an interlace and stretch them up overhead. Open up your middle spine. Well, we can go really long. This is where we pause. We've hit the 15-minute mark. If you need to leave, just spend 30 seconds here in Shavasana. You'll probably need to to mute me. If you're ready to carry on a little bit more, come join me. I'm going to bend my knees so my feet are flat to the floor. You can roll them over to one side to come up, or cross your ankles and gently take yourself in like 3 or 4 goes to rock and roll. Rock, roll. And when you are there, you're coming into a tabletop. Hands under your hips. Okay, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Okay, so here's our grounding hands, bending your elbows, you feel the earth. And then I'm going to, with my left leg, because it's the one closest to you guys, I'm gonna lift it off the floor and bring my heel into my bum. Do you see that? Now, before you move, you're gonna push into that right knee. So it enforces that lifted leg to lift higher. Okay, push into that hands and right knee, and then let that left knee just circle, however it's gonna circle. And one thing, so this is just us circling our hips, you have the opportunity to scan your body. And scan in the shoulders. Notice if they're sitting up to your ears. You need to actively pull them away. Okay, we're gonna take that knee the other direction. Keep that pressing in your hands, pressing in the right knee. Okay, now we're going to bring that leg so it's straight, and we're gonna rotate the toes out to the side and down and out. So this is all going into the hips here, isn't it? You feel that? And you're bound to start to feel that opposite hip, that right hip. Okay, so if you need to bring the toes to the floor, give them a little push, open up your lower back, you're here, okay? Otherwise, reach that leg back. Okay, and then we're gonna bend the knee and bring the knee to this left elbow. So bend the elbow first and make contact with the knee. Oof. And then send that leg back. Breathe in, and then breathe. Elbow bends, knee bends. Breathe in, breathe out. Just when you thought I was nice. Moo ha ha ha. Breathe out. Breathe in. Good, we've got 3 more. Show me your strength. Show it to yourself. Good, last one. Lovely. And then drop the knee. Give your hips a little tick-tock side to side. Start to circle. So use your hands, push your hips back. For me, this feels good with my knees right together. Some people like their knees a bit wider apart, so just explore. Change the direction, circle the other way, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the other side. So keep circling. Good, and then slow down on the last one. Slow it down. Good, if your wrists are getting tired, you can use your hands and to punch them in the floor like I'm doing here. Okay, for the wrists. So bend the right foot into the bum and then lift the knee. And then we're circling here. Do you know if you really are over it in the wrists, you can come onto your forearms, okay? Or you can use your hands in different ways. All these different ways. Building works. Drills. Good. And then change the direction. Good, let's send the leg back. Ready? Send it back. Now here's our option. Bring the toes down. Press in the knee, press in the hands, get that little lift. And then maybe the leg can come up. We're going to turn the toes out and down. I always think this is quite interesting because the hip, from the movement of the foot, it's rotating that entire leg. This is the hip. And the hip isn't a thing, it's your leg. It's your leg meeting your pelvis. That's a hip. So it's actually the leg and the pelvis rotating. Okay, we'll do one more of those. And then we're going to bend our right elbow and send the right knee and elbow together and breathe out there. Breathe in. Are you ready for 3 more? All I heard was yes. Screaming yes. Sure, great. 2 more. I like the enthusiasm. Good, that's it. Okay, good. And then bring your knees down, circle them around. Good, you can circle your head. Good. I think we need to give our wrists a little break. So before you do anything, change the direction, the circles. And then one more breath, slow it down, 10 times slower than the last. Good, and then we're gonna come to sitting on our heels. Alternatively, you can bring your legs forwards. Okay, here's our place here. Now, as best as you can, work with this posture because we're not actually staying here for that long. We're gonna squeeze our knees together. Okay, bring your hands to your side and you're gonna brush the floor like that. And we're gonna come up, I'll show you the side view. On an inhale, so legs are drawing into our midline and the hips come up only to when they're under the knees. And the arms are gonna come up too. So it looks like that. Exhale. Okay, as soon as you touch the heels, we're sending them back up, sending the hips back up. Inhale. Good, last 3. Okay, on this last one, stay lifted, lift, stay here, stay hugging into your midline, but interlace your hands and push your palms up. Good, and you can move your shoulders, move your head. And then start to look like you're looking up towards your hands. Good, turn your hands back around, and we're gonna come to sitting down, and we're gonna go lie down onto our bellies. We're gonna start with swimming at our feet. Okay, and then we're gonna lift up our legs. So here we are on our pelvis, which is our grounding element here. I'm on my elbows too, but I'm gonna shift that. Okay, so my pelvis is pushing down. So you feel your pubic bone pushing down. Now drop yourself down, bend your knees. Okay, you may wanna just stay here if you're feeling great. Okay, imagine here, you're squeezing a football between your thighs, a really squishy one. So the legs move together, but there's a bit of space between the knees, okay? So what you don't wanna do is splay your knees out wide. You wanna hug in and keep that. If you're reaching back for the feet, remember to keep that. Don't let the knees go wide. Hold on to the outer edges of your feet, okay? And then press your pubis down, okay? Kick your feet into your hands. The shoulders come out of the shoulder sockets. Okay, just feel that. I know this is a lot of instruction, but it's such a nice place to feel shoulders adjust here. So you're making that little manipulation by kicking your feet, shoulders, the arm bones move out of the shoulder socket. Okay, pubic bone pressing. And then the thighs lift, and then the breath introduces the bow. And hold it. And release. We're gonna do 2 more. Keep holding the feet, but just come down. So it starts with the kick of your feet, the shoulders move, the breath draws in, and you look forward as if to look at a horizon right at eye level. Hold, hug the football, and lower. Last time. Inhale. Good. So it's not about trying to go for it and look like a poster. Okay, it's about feeling your body. What does it like here? What is it saying stop doing? Release. And let your feet drop and let your head come to one side. And give your pubic bone a little push down and then a release. And a push. Okay, good. One breath in and a really nice release out. Good, feel where your shoulders are, relax your body down. Good, now put it into your mind that now we're gonna start to shift out of this. Okay, we're gonna use our hands to come to our sides at our ribs. Hard to talk, I'm pressing onto my belly. Okay, lift up. Come into cross-legged. So we did a lot of hip stuff there. Yeah, a lot of hip stuff. Sit up nice and tall, grab a block or a pillow, something to sit on, anything if you need it. If you don't want to bother, just join me here. We're going to come and massage the hip socket. So by circling, you're working into those areas. You feel when you come over to one side, you're weighted in that hip. And you come to the other, and it's the difference. Hips really indicate the asymmetry in your body, which is perfectly normal. Nobody's symmetrical. We're going to change the direction of the circles. We're going to slow it down until we're back into the center. And we're going to change the cross of our legs. So lift your knees, switch the cross. Okay, this is where the yummy stretch comes in. So you can use your hands behind you and leverage yourself forwards. And instead of all this instruction, this is actually a pose, but you get a lot of instruction. Sometimes you just want to go there. Let's just go there. One thing to notice is the shoulders. You don't want them up to the neck. So you're going to let your torso hang forwards, and you hang out in this space and feel that in the hips. And everybody's different there. Somebody might have their head on the floor at this point and feel relaxed in the shoulders. Okay, so I like to go really slowly, work with my breath, and notice that any tension that creeps in is telling me that I've gone too far. I'm rushing it. Okay, and the more you rush it, the more your natural body will resist and push back, which will be the opposite of being flexible. It is not allowing the flexibility. So that's why you take it slowly. Let yourself enter into this space without force, and the body will surrender. You'll feel it. And then you'll become more flexible. Not that that's the goal, which it isn't. So relax. Relax with the angle grinder in the background. But really, if you're a good meditator, you don't notice any of that stuff. It's quite funny when you're teaching and you've got people blowing their noses in the shower and lawnmowers and building work. So we're going to come out I always feel bad taking people out of that. We're going to quickly, we're running out of time, change the cross of our legs and take your time. So a quick transition on that one, but then slowly enter. You've got a different leg in front. You're going to feel different on this side. Okay, so feel it, ease into it. When we work with the hips, the shoulders tell us lots of things. They like to go into the ears. That means you're going too far. So relax the shoulders, come out slightly of going too deep, and then softly enter slower, and you'll see the shoulders will be more relaxed. Good, soften the teeth so the mouth is nice and open. Make your breath a little deeper. It's not a natural breath. You're drawing in a long, deep breath. You're letting that deep breath leave in an even, uniform pattern. This is all signaling the nervous system that you're relaxed, so you'll have a better digestive system. Everything will start to slow down and open up. Everything as in adrenaline and all those sympathetic nervous system responses. The parasympathetic nervous system will relax those, help digestion, anti-aging. Good. Make your way back up into sitting. Close your eyes for a brief moment. Good. Find your heart space in your mind. Know that space radiates in all directions, 365 degrees. Find it in the back body. Find it in the front body. The metaphorical heart. It's the center. If you put your hands into prayer, you can do that now. Where your thumb is, let that area radiate open. Let the shoulders relax and just dip your chin in a little bit. Bow into your heart. Breathe into your heart. We honor those who help us every day, unintentionally or intentionally. You honor the life that moves around us, all the little creatures. Good. You honor the light inside of you that shines and radiates and offers itself out to the people around you. That light is love and peace, and we bow into that space. Thank you, as always, for being here, for guiding me and letting me guide you. You're amazing, and I enjoy every moment of it. So peace out. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.